The three worst class reworks so far in Midnight. What's up guys, Petko here, welcome for another video. Today I'm going to talk about which 3 DPSers are the worst design so far, going from the Warcraft to Midnight, which again, there are several factors that go with it. First of all, it's my own opinion after all these months of testing on Alpha and then now the beta as well. And second thing is only DPSers, because that's usually my area of expertise, and that's where I spend the majority of my time testing and playing the game itself. And keep in mind, I don't care about damage at this present moment. I care about design, how the spec feels, how the spec plays out, what is your genuine rotation flow, what about new utility, stuff like that. You know, like most often than ever, it's mostly design-wise, okay? We're gonna care about damage at some later stage of the game. Anyway, the first DPS I'm gonna talk about today is gonna be Fire Mage. Now, why do I think Fire Mage is gonna go from the Warcraft to Midnight as an actual AO rework? First of all, the whole skill-based gameplay around combustion is now gone. What I mean by that is, previously, the better you are a Fire Mage, the more CTR you can actually get out of combustion, and you can play around your major cooldowns the way that you can express your skill by how good you are at resource management and cooldown management. Right now, sadly, that is not the case. Again, kindling is flat out CTR on your combustion, which pretty much means doesn't matter if you're bad or good at the game, you're gonna get combustion around the same time as everybody else. The skill inspiration is most definitely shrink down. Second thing is the whole class surrounds around combustion. Like every single damage ability or damage amp is so baked inside combustion that outside of combust, you're actually doing tank damage. Like I'm not even kidding at this point. Which again, previously we had this as well in the game where your damage counts as a combustion, and they had several builds. One is flame strike build, one is ignite build. But really, what kind of annoys me is that not only your damage is around combustion, but there is no way to make the times between no combust and combust shorter or express your skill anywhere in between, right? That's one of the most annoying things, obviously. And rotation wise, you're gonna see in a couple of seconds. Rotation wise, one of the again extremely easy. You can only have 2 keybinds and it'll be fine. It's pretty much Phoenix Flames now gone, so all you gotta do is Fire Blast, Flame Strike in AoE, and Meteor on cooldown. That's pretty much all you gotta do. Like exactly. Like look at this, for example. Watch this. Just look at my rotation, and then you can see for yourself. All right, watch this. That's it. Flame Strike, Fire Blast, and nothing else. Right? And now after combustion, I get to spam few Flame Strikes, and my damage is insane during combustion. Now outside of combustion, will be a little bit miserable. But majority of my damage, if I play the Flame Strike build, comes from that, and it's just rotating 2 buttons, waiting until combustion is ready, go again. That's it. Now you can alternately play a Pyroblast focus build with Ignite, and you don't cast a Flame Strike at all, and try to spread out Ignite with Pyroblast and Flame Strike, but that's probably going to be a play on like high level keys. But for now speaking, I think the third place goes to Fire Mage. Anyway, moving forward to one of the specs that have actually been quite popular for the past couple of PTR seasons, is going to be Hunter. I'm going to show a bit of a gameplay of Hunter, and why do I think it has changed for the worse following the Midnight beta. First of all, what has changed to Hunter? Absolutely nothing. Now, there are specs that they got some change. They've got no changes to their core rotation. But perhaps some utility changes, perhaps some minor differences in the talents. But the core design of is absolutely the same. At least Sentinel, Dark Ranger feels a little bit more consistent. However, the worst change is giving so much damage to the aim shot and making aim shot baseline 2.5 second cast, which pretty much takes 3 business days until you actually follow up with your aim shot. And it feels very frustrating when you have to move, when you cancel the aim shot, and then hit like a wet noodle, because you had to cancel it. And so you pretty much, the whole spec is exactly the same as the Warcraft, with Wailing ability now. If you guys have previously played previous expansion in Shadowlands, has legendary Wailing Arrow that right now is baked inside your talents every time you press your true shot. If you play the talent, or if you actually play, I guess it's more commonly used with Dark Ranger, but you have an AoE silence for like 1 second just to stop all the mobs But like, again, besides the point, the core rotation of is exactly what you are playing right now in the Warcraft 10. And keep in mind, there are many specs that have the same rotation, but they've got some more meaningful changes for Hunter. The only meaningful change that I could say they've gone from the Warcraft 10 to Midnight is the new utility added to the class itself. Not only the Hunter's Mark rework, which is now better for Mythic Plus and Raid, but also a Roar of Sacrifice, which is kind of like imagine the Blessing of Sacrifice from Paladin, but slightly minor version of that. That's exactly why I think it's just, for me personally, again, it's a little bit boring. Besides, it doing actually pretty good burst damage, but I think it just doesn't impress me, and it's first pretty boring to play because you gotta wait such a long time for aim shot outside of your true shot aura. I just can't fall asleep playing the spec. I kid you not. If you put all the balancing aside, all the damage aside, at least BM Hunter, which is arguably the most boring spec in the world, at least the BM Hunter has a new interaction with Wild Trash, which is your previously used multi-shot to apply Beast Cleave to your pets. Now you have Wild Trash, which is a new ability that you press every 8 seconds. It's much easier to maintain your windows of Beast Cleave, and again, it makes it slightly less pain, so that's at least something to hinge on. But overall, I think MM is pretty much quite boring, I would say. And now the worst class that I have tested so far, at least design-wise. None of you would guess it. You can try, pause the video, give it a try. You will never guess it. But I'm going to tell you, so far, out of all the DPS that I've tested, I fell asleep with only one spec, and you would not believe it. That is going to be Subrogue. Subrogue, Deathstalker, likely the biggest fucking snooze fest you can play right now. I am mind-boggled by the amount of buttons you gotta press. So if you are playing Deathstalker, and I'm so sad to say, but right now I don't have my talents. Let me show you what it does. Okay, let me show you what it does. I don't have my talents right now. Otherwise, I'll show you. Let's roll from the beginning. Okay, watch this. Watch this. First of all, you dance now. You dance every 20 seconds. They're shorter, but every 20 seconds. Symbols are gone. Rapture is gone. And the simplification of the spec has become so obscure. It's like so annoying that I just cannot play it. I just can't play it. Look at this now. Watch this. Look at your rotation. Like, all you gotta do, and by the way, secret technique is also non-CDR. Now it's a flat CDR. It's like every 27 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever, and that's it. So all you gotta do with the spec is, first of all, pop your Shadow Blades, which is your major cooldown, every minute and a half, pop your dance, okay? Pop your dance, and it's gonna be Shuriken Storm, Black Powder. That's it. That's all you do. Look at my buttons. Look at this. I press 2 and E, which is my abilities, right? Shuriken Storm, Black Powder. Shuriken Storm, Black Powder. Shuriken Storm, Black Powder. Shuriken Storm, Black Powder, And that's all you press for like at least 30 seconds. You can throw here and there a bit of Eviscerate to get your Slice and Dice, to get some prior damage, but there's no Rapture. There's no Flagellation. There's no Symbols Management. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. And it goes to infinite. Now, at least if you play Trickster, it's a little bit more interesting. You can manage some Shadow Strikes. You can play around. You can play around the Umbro Blades. But yeah, I mean, I am not disliking that this spec is so beginner friendly, but at the same time, it bores me to death to play it. It went from one of the hardest spec to like manage and play and think about, rotationally and how to set up how to prepare your damage, how to set it up, cooldown management, yada yada yada, to like actually pressing 2 buttons at the same time, and that's it. Like, even dances are much easier to manage because you have your dance every 20 seconds. So even if you fuck up one dance, the next one is already ready, right? And on single target, the same thing. It's Shadow Strike or Backstab into max combo points, Eviscerate, that's it. And obviously, you press your spender Shadow Technique. No, I already forgot it, but this one in the middle, you press it every 30 seconds or 28. I said it in the beginning of the video, but now it went through my mind. Anyway, yeah, I think that's so far about the 3 worst specs that I have, in my opinion, are designed so far about Midnight. Again, some of them are worse just the way they do damage, others are worse because rotation they haven't changed or minorly changed, but overall, that's my opinion. I don't talk about damage at this point. I think it's just pretty much flow of the spec. And I am going to be ready with a massive video this Saturday, Sunday, talking about my first impression from every single spec after I have tested them in Mythic Plus. some high-level keys testing, how they play out, single target, flow, priority image funnel, this kind of stuff. Saturday Sunday is going to be a very interesting episode. So if you guys want to tune in, make sure to follow, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching the video. See you on stream. Bye for now.